Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we will be taking a look at the Google Nexus 7 tablet. Stay tuned. We have a lot to cover, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time unboxing. Basically, this is what you get. You get the box, and inside the box is a little power brick that you can plug in a USB cable, which also this comes with, and on the other end you get a micro USB cable. So it uses standard micro USB for power. Really nice, convenient. You usually don't get that with the larger 10-inch tablets. So that's one real big benefit to these smaller 7-inch tablets. After living with a 10-inch tablet for a while, I have an Acer A500 Iconia tab, which I did a review back about half a year ago with, and then getting this, I've had it for about a week and playing with it. The 7-inch tablet is much easier to live with and move around with and lay in bed and read stuff with than that 10-inch tablet. And if I had to choose between one and the other, 7-inch format is way better. I think that the 8.9 inch is probably the biggest you want to get, which is what the Sony uses. And there's some other ones out there. So the front, there's nothing remarkable, just looks like a slab of glass here. And it is the, what do you call it? It doesn't say that it's Gorilla Glass, but it says that it's Corning scratch resistant glass. So it can be sort of implied that it's probably Gorilla Glass. On the back you get a nice rubber, not really rubber, but a plastic with these little dimples, sort of like a golf ball, but it's really grippy, but it's not like super soft rubber. It's hard plastic, but if for some reason it just feels softer than it really is. This little gash right here on the bottom, this little slit, is where the speakers are. It'd be nice if they were split so you get more of a stereo effect, but you just get a slit there, and that's all that's on the back. On the front, on the top, you really don't have much except a little hole, which is probably kind of hard to see, but there's a hole up there, which is one of the mics. On the left side, the only thing you have is a dock connector, which there are no docks available for this yet. On the bottom, you have that micro USB. You have an earphone jack, standard. On the right side, you get the power button and you get the rocker volume switch. And somewhere on here, there's another, there it is, another microphone, little hole, which is sort of on the same side as the dock right there. So that's the tour around the whole thing. So we'll go ahead, and now that I got my fingerprints all over it, we'll go ahead and turn it on. And we'll go ahead and unlock it. It unlocks like any standard Android tablet. And the first thing that you'll notice when you first get this thing lit off and out of the box, and it does its updates and everything, is that it's so freaking fast. It's unbelievably fast. And the reason for this is the new Android OS Jelly Bean that's installed on here. That one of their little secret things they did was Project Butter, which was to smooth everything out. But more importantly is the outrageous speed of this tablet that is an amazing price, which we'll talk about in a minute. Let's go down the specs really quick about this guy. This is a 7.8 inch by 4.72 inch tablet, and it weighs an unbelievably light 12 ounces, and it's one of the lightest tablets out there, even lighter than the brand new Kindle Fire HD 7-inch that just came out, which is like 13.9 ounces. And as far as thickness, they're almost the same. This might have like a hair thicker than that new Kindle Fire HD that just came out. Now, like I said, this comes with the new Android Jelly Bean OS that has the Project Butter, which really just, is super smooth. And the Kindle HD, I'm going to sort of compare this just a little bit with it, really comes with a just ice cream sandwich with their layered interface over it, not the pure stock Jelly Bean Android OS. This comes with a gig of RAM. This comes with 8 or 16 gigs of storage. I bought the 8 gig for the unbelievable low price of $200. Come on, ain't that crazy? And not only that, but you get $25 in free stuff that you could buy in the Android market on top of it all. Now you could also get the 16 gig version, which costs $249. The cameras. Now this is where the first disappointment on this guy is. If you notice, no rear camera whatsoever. You got the word Nexus here. You got Asus down here, which, by the way, this is manufactured by Asus, even though it's the Google Nexus 7 tablet. The only camera you get is the one up here, and you got to look really close to see it up there. And it's a 1.2 megapixel. And you know, my personal opinion is taking a picture with a tablet is insane. You look retarded doing it. So really all you need is for teleconferencing and things like that. So I think the forward-facing camera only is good. This is one of the places where Asus had to cut costs to meet the price point that they were going for. So you're going to find there are some compromises to this. The battery life is 10 hours. It has been outdone just a little bit by that new Kindle Fire 7, which lasts for 8 hours. I mean, I'm sorry, 11 hours. So 10 hours still better than just about everything out there. I already talked about it has the standard micro USB. The big 10-inch tablets tend to have proprietary connectors, so it's nice that, you know, the 7-inch ones, I guess, only need a standard connector, which is great because I have like a million micro USB connectors all over the house. As far as connectivity, data, this thing uses either Wi-Fi, B, G, N. It does not do 3G, and there is no 3G available at this time. That Kindle Fire has the same thing, but it outclasses it a little bit with the Wi-Fi because it has MIMO dual antennas, and it can squeeze a little more speed out of it, supposedly. Now, as far as actual testing, I don't own a Kindle Fire 7 HD, so I can't tell you which one is actually faster. This does have Bluetooth. It again, this is a 7-inch tablet. Another place that they sort of cut corners here with this particular one to match that price point is that there is no HDMI out on here, so you can't hook it up to a TV. Now that's not to say there's no way to get video out to a TV. You could do that through a technology I'll talk about here in a moment. Now the resolution for this 7-inch tablet is an amazing 1280 by 800. That is really an amazing resolution. There's no way that you could even see a pixel on the screen unless you look at it under a magnifying glass. Look how smooth that is. That's just crazy. Now for the market to buy stuff, since this is a stock operating system, you could download the Kindle application, the Barnes and Noble's Nook application, and then you have the Google store called Google Play, and you could download from any of them and put all that stuff on there. You could put the Amazon Market on here. You could put whatever you want, so you're not sort of boxed into a certain market. Like if you were to get just the Kindle or you just get the Nook, you would be locked into their market and you couldn't buy any others unless you jailbroke the thing. So it's a very open environment. You could do whatever you want with this thing. Because again, stock OS. So you are basically, it's app independent and it's more inclusive. This thing has GPS. It has a gyroscope. It does not have a micro SD card slot, so it doesn't have any additional storage that you could put in here. So that's another place where they went ahead and cut costs a little bit. Do you really need it? There's so many cloud-based storage systems out there. You could utilize that. You could also have some storage on your home network that you could access. So the need for card slots is really diminishing. I personally, you know, I had that 10-inch Acer Icania A500. I've never used a card slot because of all these other technologies that are available. This has something called NFC, which is near field communications. It's like you can put this next to another one and it can transfer data using this new technology, which I'm not too well versed with. This does not have Adobe Flash, but you could download an application to go ahead and add that if you'd like, but it looks like all the vendors out there are trying to get away from Adobe products because they tend to be so vulnerable to hacking. And personally, in my computer lab, I don't put Adobe products on our machines because of that. Um, like I showed you, there are two microphones, one on the top, one on the side. The Nexus sound, the sound is a little disappointing. It's average. It's nothing special. They didn't separate the speakers too well. So like that new Kindle HD Fire that's out, they have some really nice speakers that they split up so they could really get some nice Dolby sound going on there. Let me get back to the home page. Other features you get is you get a large selection of marketplace. You know, I talked about the Google Play real quick, and you also get something called Google Now, which is kind of neat because you can. Let me go ahead and turn the sound up as high as I can here because I want you to check something out. Whoops, I don't want to turn this off. Let me back out of there real quick. It's sort of hard to work this upside down, but I'm going to go ahead and I want to show you what Google Now is. You could sort of, this is something new with Jelly Bean. What you could do is you could swipe up like this, and I'm going to say, Google, what is the weather like in New York?
It's 72 degrees and clear in New York.
So they're sort of playing this against Siri, which is the Apple products. They're sort of, this is their answer to Siri, which you're going to find in Jelly Bean. So you'll see that in phones as well as tablets that are getting the this newer version of Android. You also have access to the full-blown Google products. You know, you get your Chrome, Google Plus. It comes with YouTube and Google Maps, Google Talk, all kinds of freaking things. It's just Google Drive, which is actually the whole Office suite online in the cloud as far as Google's concerned. So you could do word processing, spreadsheets, presentations, things like that, all built in, ready to go. So, did I tell you the price again? This thing's amazing, $199. This is the best tablet for the money, 7-inch tablet. Hell, it is the best tablet for this price range that you could buy. This is the best value out there right now. And from 1 week of using this, I highly recommend this. It is just incredible. It's a great reader. Do keep in mind that outside in sunlight, this is not that great. As with any tablet that's backlit like this, really you want to go with the e-ink technologies, not you know, a backlit LED. By the way, this is an IC. What is it? The screen. There's a name for this thing. It is a IPS screen for those of you who need to know what IPS, if it has that or not. But it's a very sharp display that you could see at very wide range of angles. It really doesn't lose too much. You really see how it doesn't get dark as you tip it. So I just wanted to show you how, you know, pages flipping, you know, kind of cool things there. This is sort of like the operator manual here for this, but I thought I'd just show you that. Now, one thing that this doesn't have is DLNA, and remember I told you there's a way to go ahead and get video and get audio to different devices in your house. And if you sort of get into DLNA, which is sort of a standard protocol to push sound and audio and to pull it from devices. So if you have a DLNA compliant server that you have your music on, you have your pictures on, you have your movies on, you could go ahead and access it on a device if it has the proper application. Now, I use an application known as skiffax. Let me see if I can go ahead and bring this up. I'm not very prepared here, but here it is, skiffax. And what you could do, now I'm not going to be able to play this because I'll violate all kinds of copyright, and the music Nazis will get all pissed off, but I can access my server where I have my music, and then I could play it on this device, which is not going to sound sort of mediocre, or I could push it to a DLNA compliant speaker, such as I got a Sony DLNA speaker, which I might do a review in sometime in the future. If you have a box top device hooked up to your TV set like an Xbox, or if you have a Roku or a Google TV, those things usually can accept DLNA input, so you can go ahead and send it, through DLNA to that device, and then you could have it on your TV set. But the weird thing is that this particular tablet did not come out of the box with a DLNA application, so I recommend that Skifta, which is free. You can just go to the market and download it. Really cool. Now, for those of you that are sort of interested in the Kindle Fire HD7, the advantages of that new one out there, even though you're sort of boxed into their market and you sort of get their operating system sort of tying it down, is you get a slightly better screen because they put some sort of polarized lamination on the top of it, so it does a little bit better outside. Again, the audio is better because they put better speakers that have more distance between them. But there's some other downsides to the Kindle Fire compared to this. This has a processor called a quad-core Tegra 3. That's made by NVIDIA. It's a quad-core, but actually that's kind of misleading because it has five cores, because there actually has a low-power core also that can sort of work with while it's in standby, or it takes care of some of the things where it doesn't need one of the more powerful cores, so you're not wasting power for nothing. So it's a 5-core processor technically. Another bad thing about the new Kindle Fire HD is that although it's also $199, you get ads that, if you don't want to see those ads getting pushed to your device, you have to pay like $10 to get them taken off permanently. So it sort of costs more if you don't want to be bombarded by ads. So there you go. This guy, I love it. What's really neat is, besides reading books on here, using, you could get the Nook app or the Kindle app or whatever you want, is you could watch movies, you could download Netflix. I don't want to open any of these because I got a lot of my information on there, but you can go ahead and, watch your Netflix, read your books, work on stuff, grocery lists. My wife has a tablet, the Samsung Tab 7, and we go ahead and use this Mighty Grocery application to synchronize our grocery list. This is, what does this say? Friendly reminder that do you want to back up now? No, I don't. So here's my grocery list, and what's really neat about this particular application, as she's adding things, they'll pop up on the screen here, so it's kind of cool. So you can see my my grocery list. There's like an unlimited amount of things you could do with these tablets, and I'm glad to see that the price point on these things are coming down so much. Another thing is about the screen, and any good tablet is multi-touch, and I went ahead and tested it using this application. A lot of the older screens, you could do pinch and it would only recognize 2 points. Well, I ran this program and I had all 5 fingers on here, and it recognized all separate points, so it can take care of that. Here's an interesting application called Pocket Cloud. It allows me to remote into my server. Another neat application I like to play with is TuneIn Radio, so I can listen to talk radio, music, things like that. But I can't recommend this enough. This is my favorite gizmo right now, and it's an outstanding tablet. The last thing that I didn't mention on this is that these are an amazing game platform. There are so many games. Most of the applications on there are games, and probably half of you probably know what Angry Birds are at this time, which was really started on phones and tablets. Amazing game. This is an amazing game platform. It has a super fast processor. The graphics is also an amazing chip. It has 12 cores for the graphic chip in this thing. So, 12, let me see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 17 cores, processing cores in this device. So this is smoking, and it's amazing that they can run this thing for 10 hours even with all those cores. So Can't recommend this enough. If you're in the market for a tablet, I highly recommend the Nexus 7 by Google. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And I hope you have a great weekend.